My name's Lyonel Gammon, I live in northern Utah, and I have a story to tell you. Not too long ago, I was cleaning out my grandfather's barn, and I found a vintage Harley-Davidson motorcycle.
Ah, there it is. Welcome home, baby girl.
My plan is to put this Harley-Davidson back on the road where it belongs, and I'm going to bring you along with me. So come along with me on this adventure as I learn to build and put a motorcycle back on the road. And I'm going to call it Barnyard Bike.
Every August, I get overly excited for the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. Working in the motorcycle industry, I get the blessing and the privilege to be at this rally every single year. Now, before we talk Sturgis, the goal was to get this motorcycle down to the bare frame, and that goal was prior to the rally. Most people are trying to get a bike built and done before the rally, not me. I'm trying to get a bike fully tore down, fully sitting, ready, so we can start building once I get back from the motorcycle rally. So, we're here. We're headed to the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. The Barnyard Bike is sitting only on its frame, sitting on my motorcycle lift in the barn.
Welcome to the 82nd annual Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. I'm Lyonel. We are bringing you the Law Tigers Challenge. Our contestants have arrived. They are each putting their right hand on that beautiful 2022 Indian Chieftain. Last person to take their hand off, they're gonna ride it home here from the rally. Why do we do this? Because we're the Law Tigers and we love you. We wanna hook you up, so we're bringing them here. We got the contestants, they were paid cash money to come, and now one of them's gonna leave with that brand new Indian. Let me give you a little rundown of some of the rules here. They've gotta keep their right hand on the bike the whole time. I told them they don't get their cell phone. We're gonna let them have their cell phones just so they can entertain themselves, but guess what? They don't get a break. 4 hours they have to wait, and then I'll give them a 15-minute break. That way we're keeping them normal, we're keeping them healthy, but they don't know what they're in for. I've got a couple tricks up my sleeve to make them last a little bit longer, but also it might wear them out a little bit. So let's go talk to some of these guys and see how they're feeling. Marla, I have to know, what is your strategy going into this? You've got a chance to win a 2022 Indian Chieftain Dark Horse. It's right here behind you. Right now, you're the only woman that's shown up as the qualifiers. What are you gonna do to knock out all these guys?
Show them what women are about.
Oh! That's called the mic drop right there. She's, boom, she dropped it. There it is.
So my son's in the military, so this is for my son.
Whoa, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
You're winning you're competing this bike for your son who's in the military.
That's right.
Is he currently deployed? Is he stationed? Where's he at?
Camp Lejeune, Sound Camp Lejeune. So Andrew Noble, called you earlier today. This is for you, buddy. Love you, man.
Okay.
Everything I do is for you.
That is amazing, dude. Shake my hand. He's winning the bike for his son.
That's right.
And his name's Andrew. Okay, Andrew, it's coming to you, my man.
This year, not only did we give away one motorcycle, but we actually gave away 3. 2 Harley baggers and 1 brand new Indian Chieftain. And what a pleasure it was to give away motorcycles to well-deserving folks who needed a new motorcycle.
All right, guys, we're back. It's day number 2. We're still here at the Law Tigers Challenge. We got a special surprise. We brought Adam Sandoval from Adam Sandoval Rides. He's sporting the Dirty Side Down shirt. These are his own shirts, but he came to support the riders. And you've seen the riders that are competing, and one of them is a huge fan of yours. He's been rocking that hat since day 1. And my money says, now that you've been here, now you're gonna have lunch with him, he's gonna leave. I think he's only competing to meet you.
No.
Yeah!
Definitely not. That guy is going to take it home. He's an Army vet, infantry. He's stubborn. The man's got the stubborn American hat. He might be leaving with the bike.
Hey, I hope you're right, but I thought he was here for you. So you got 4 contestants still. It's lunchtime. Sweeto Burrito hooked us up with lunch. Thank you guys there. So we're gonna have lunch, and we'll keep coming back to you.
The 2022 Indian Chieftain we gave away was done in an endurance challenge. We had one lucky winner, kept his hand on a motorcycle for 77 hours, and you guessed it, he rode that 2022 Chieftain away from the rally after keeping his right hand on it for 77 hours. This year we also sponsored and worked with Baker Drivetrain. Now if you don't know who Baker Drivetrain is, believe me, you're gonna know more about them here soon. But we actually sponsored their drags, a Run What You Brung event during the motorcycle rally to crown who is the fastest man and who is the fastest woman of Sturgis. Working in the motorcycle industry, of course, I was working during the rally, but it doesn't mean you don't get a mixed little play and pleasure with work. So we were shooting guns.
About time I hit something. That is a beast.
So my mentorship with Xavier went so well that I thought I've got to take advantage of this while I'm at the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. Not only will I have the greatest motorcycles in the world there to look at as inspiration, but I'll also have some of these builders, parts manufacturers, distributors, and the legends of our industry. And one such legend that I actually approached is the one and only Billy Lane. Evo motor guru, racer, builder extraordinaire. I mean, the guy does everything. And I had an opportunity to talk to Billy, and he's gonna help me get this motor where I truly want it to be, and also help me assess if it's in a good running condition or not.
Hey, brother man, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you, Lyonel. How are you?
Good, brother. Hey, I'm coming to beg you. You're the godfather, you're the expert, you're the king. I'm working on a 1988 Softail Custom.
Okay.
I've torn the bike down. I'm calling it my Barnyard Bike, but I'm scared to death of that Evo motor. It's got potential.
Yeah.
It's a powerhouse. It's bulletproof. And I don't know anybody better that knows Evo motors than you. So I'm on my knees begging, like, can you mentor me? Could you coach me? Can you tell me, you know, do I've got to do the top end? Is it cams? What is it, lifters? I need the expert. I need Billy Lane's genius to teach me.
I can help you, man. You know, the Evo is the best engine Harley ever made, in my opinion. I mean, they're not as efficient as the more modern engines, but I mean, they're bulletproof, like you said, and they're so easy to modify. I can walk you through that stuff really easy.
As I spoke with Billy, he was all in. He was willing to jump on board, willing to help me out on my motorcycle. It's not because of me, it's because Billy's got a passion for vintage motorcycles. And when I told him that I've got an 88, what I hope is an untouched motor, he was all in to jump on board and help me get this bike back to the road.
Awesome. Dude, I love it. This is gonna be sweet. You're making my dream bike. Tell me about your dream bike right here, because I know you've talked about this a little bit.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I've always liked old stuff, and when the Evo came out, like in the 80s, I couldn't afford one, so I was riding old stuff, and so I've always really been enamored with it. And you know, I'm kind of doing here what guys like Al Crocker and Andy Kozlow were doing in the 30s. So the first, you know, all the bikes were flatheads, all the Indians and Harleys were flatheads, and guys for racing were making overhead valve conversions, which is what I've done with this. This is the Harley flathead with an overhead valve conversion that I make, and I've been wanting to do this for years. And you know, as you get older, you start saying, if I don't do it now, when am I going to do it? So that's what I've done here. I started building a limited run of 50 bikes called Cool Hand Speedco, and so I'm making 50 of these, and they're all hand done by me, and people are loving it, digging it. Sturgis out here is really receiving me well. So
nice. Brother man, I'm going to be in touch with you.
Yep.
I get back from the rally, I'm going to get cracking on that motor, but I'm going to be hitting you up. I'll have you come into the shop, maybe we'll work on it together, and maybe we can get this bike built back to life, because it's not running, man. It's a mess.
I'll be sitting by the phone.
Okay, you're the man, dude. Thank you, Billy.
The Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, of course, did not disappoint. Our brothers and sisters of the road all came out in groves. We had a great rally. It is an awesome opportunity to be out there and to share in the love and the passion of motorcycling. It's lit my fire. It's given me more energy, even more so than I had, to get back into the barn and to build on my Barnyard Bike.
I love green bikes. Look at this FXR. Man, this is built out, see? Maybe I ought to do something, get the diamond head cuts in here, but I've always loved green. You know, they say that green's unlucky for motorcycles because you blend into the surroundings, or so I've been told. But when they told me green bikes are unlucky, as a kid, I'm like, I've got to have a green bike. And I think that this is hey, I knew this was your bike.
While I was at the Buffalo Chip talking to Billy Lane, I met another legend, Tom Kiefer. And Tom overheard our conversation and threw his hat in the arena as well. Tom is a phenomenal builder. He's one of those guys that he can take a problem, he can problem solve it, he can shoot it. He knows exactly how to fix it to make sure your motorcycle is running. Tom told me that he wants to get involved. He's gonna help me out once I have this Barnyard Bike assembled. He's gonna make sure that we go through it with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that everything's right, everything's sound, and it is roadworthy.
So we got Tom here with Franklin Church Street Choppers. It's always a mouthful for me.
Yeah, no. But it's a mouthful for everybody. I live on Franklin Church Road.
It makes sense.
20 years ago.
And now you can't change it.
I can't. I was going to change it about 2 years in, but I already had shirts and stickers. I was like, just leave it.
Yeah, because he wants to reprint shirts.
So I get the, hey, Mr. Church, can we talk? Or can I speak to Franklin? I'm like, hey, well, he doesn't.
He's out of here. So now you're out of Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Dude, I got to tell you, I love this bike. You did this one for the FXR Throwdown, right?
No, that's actually, I did this 2 years ago.
Oh, see, that tells you how much I know.
The FXR Throwdown was done by Jason Moog and Paul. It was Jason's idea, awesome idea. They decided to do it, just have some fun. I had this one the year before. So I did an SNS 124, a Baker 6-speed, in a twin cam platform.
Nice.
And an Evo-based 93 FXR. But the only thing original is the tank and the frame.
I would love to hit you up if you'd be willing. Give me some advice when I get to that point. I mean, right now it's in the barn. I've called it my Barnyard Bike.
Okay.
I'm bad. I ordered a license plate that's Barnyard Bike 1, so BYB1, because I'm so excited about it. But I haven't even started yet, but I would love to pick your brain when it comes to, style and organization and, how to match and fit everything up. I've never done this before, so it's my first attempt into a custom bike.
Well, cool. There's a lot of different ways you can go with it. I mean, you can go performance, you can go cruiser, you can go ridiculous, you can do so much stuff with it. What I do is I do a lot of custom bikes, but I'm really a service repair, make your bike work kind of guy. So when you get to the point where you need your primary setup, your transmission setup, your driveline setup, your wheels spaced, stuff like that, give me a call.
Done.
That's what I do.
Done. You made the deal. It's going to happen, brother.
We'll do
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good Sturgis rally.
You too. Thank you so much.
Sturgis couldn't come to an end soon enough. The problem is I've got all these ideas that brewing in my head, and I really want to jump in the barn and start working on the bike, but I've got no energy. So I've got to recharge my batteries. The way I recharge is my family. Love motorcycles, love the Western ranching lifestyle, but at the end of the day, if I don't have my family, I've got nothing. So gonna take a little bit of time. We're gonna spend time with the family, might do a little vacation, hopefully recharge the batteries, and then get right back into the day-to-day life and this motorcycle. Batteries are recharged. After the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, spending time with the family, it's time to get back in the barn. Ready to work on this bike, and I've got a list of builders. I'm calling them my master builders. They're gonna be my mentors. They're gonna help me through this. Of course, we had the legend Billy Lane help me out get this motor prep. Now, we're not fully done at the motor, but we still got a couple tweaks to do. But the motorcycle is not a full motorcycle with just the motor. You've also got to have a great powertrain behind it. And at the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, I was able to talk and spend time with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Bert effing Baker. Now listen, his name's not Bert effing Baker, but that's what he goes by. So if you know Bert, you call him Bert effing Baker. And Bert effing Baker is gonna video in to the barn, and he's gonna tell me exactly the right way to check this transmission or to let me know if I need a new transmission on this bike.
Hey, what's up, Lyonel? What are you working on?
Hey, Bert, man, welcome to my barn. I'm busting into this tranny, and I'm not happy.
Okay.
Because I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm gonna call a spade where I messed up. And the first thing I didn't undo the clutch cable, and I broke it.
I like it. Yeah, all right. Cool. It's an old motorcycle. I mean, you know, it's, I remember it well, 1988 Softail. I don't know if you just want to have a general discussion about what I think of an 88 Softail, but for example, the main shaft is a tapered main shaft, and the clutch goes on to the end of the main shaft, correct? That taper system is a known failure point. In 1990, Harley migrated to a spline main shaft, which they still use today, and it worked, and it works well. You know, tell me you got a stock block 88 Softail, that's probably the first thing that comes to my mind is if you're going to rebuild it, we should probably think about rebuilding it with it's technically a 91 and later main shaft. And then we'll have we'll have to go find a clutch, but that's pretty easy. Allegedly, the biggest transmission-related recall in Harley history was related to the shift forks that are potentially in that transmission. Those shift forks may be the powdered metal variety. Sometime in the mid to late 80s, manufactured all their transmissions with powdered metal forks that were prone to breaking. So that's one thing we're going to have to look at when we rebuild the thing. As far as a jockey shift, that's very doable, very cool. When I ride a jockey shift motorcycle, foot clutch, I'm the king of the world, man.
Yeah.
That's as cool as it comes, man.
I know uphill stops are gonna suck, but I think I'm willing to pay that price.
Okay, I like it. I like it. The other thing that's really, really cool with a jockey shift type setup like that, we make an N1 drum in which neutral's below first. And the N1 drum is really necessary to ride a jockey shift motorcycle with authority. Okay. And that's the only way to ride a jockey shift motorcycle is with authority.
Yes.
I mean, it's not for the faint of heart, man. But once again, when you're piloting a foot clutch hand shift bike down the road, nobody else is cooler than you. It's just the way it is, man. I'm sorry.
I am blown away at Bert's knowledge. This guy was an engineer in a major car manufacturing company for years, broke off on his own, and now makes and manufactures the world's greatest transmissions for motorcycles. He's talking about stuff that's up here. I have no clue what he's talking about, and I'm that dumb kid who's just smiling and nodding the entire time. Having a chance to talk to you, I wasn't about to do my own homework, do my own research, because quite frankly, I don't know. You're the authority. So that's why I was like, I'm waiting to talk to the man. They call you Bert effing Baker for a reason, and that's what I want to know. If I'm going to have authority like you're talking about, I got to know how to do it right.
We just made a big project for you, young man.
So if this was your bike, though, am I barking up the right tree in your opinion?
Absolutely. I see where you want to go with this. Get some medium rise, ape hangers, maybe, something like that. And if we place the shifter knob, below your left leg correctly, then, there's no risk of life or limb,
Okay. Give me just a brief history of you and how you started Baker Drivetrain.
Yeah, the story of Baker Drivetrain is pretty simple. Lisa and I were engineers at a car company a long time ago, you may remember, called Oldsmobile. I was in the transmission group and she did clutches and clutch actuators. We got our engineering degrees from Michigan State University. She graduated with honors and I barely graduated. She's a smart cookie. She doesn't do, designing. Instead, she does banks and lawyers and insurance and all the other stuff. We're not rich, so we cashed in our 401k and rolled the dice on Baker Drivetrain. It's an American story. It really is.
Things went better than I thought with Bert. Bert actually is giving us a new transmission for this motorcycle. We're gonna take this 5-speed, we're gonna turn it into a 6-speed, and I really think after talking with Bert that we're gonna go with a jockey shift on this. So no longer shifting by foot, we're gonna put a foot clutch in and we're gonna jockey shift off the left side. It's really great to learn from a master builder on what to do on your own personal bike, but if you don't have the parts to do it, you're not gonna get anywhere. So I've gotta get parts. Not only do I gotta start shopping and looking around and figuring it out, but I think I have a friend, a contact that I'm gonna reach out to. I've got another business trip coming up here, and I'm gonna see if I can get a partner to support me in the needs for my parts.